Welcome, brave warriors and supplicants. Don that armor, sharpen those swords, and let's paint the town with the blood of our enemies. It's time to play Warhammer Underworlds, Shadespire! This combat simulation game for 2 to 4 players pits the mighty liberators against the fearsome blood reavers in a battle for ultimate glory. This tutorial is for the core set, which includes pieces for a 2-player game. Expansions and additional sets are available to make it playable for more players. Many phases of Shadespire, including this very setup, begin with a roll-off. Ooh. Each player will roll 4 dice, and whoever has the most critical hit symbols at the end of that roll-off wins! Ah! In the setup, the player who lost the roll-off chooses one of the game boards first and places it on the table. The other player will take a second game board and attach it by either 3 hexes on the long side or 2 hexes on a short side. Next, the objective tokens are shuffled face down, and the first player takes a token and places it on the board. Objective tokens cannot be placed on a starting hex, edge hex, blocked hex, or within 2 hexes of another objective token. Each player then draws 5 power cards and 3 objective cards from the pre-built individual decks. After you have a few games under your belt, you can use the additional Shadespire cards in the box, but until then, use the pre-built ones, dummy! Finally, the winner of another roll-off chooses which player will place their fighter first. That player can then place one of their fighters on a starting hex in their territory. Placement alternates until all fighters are on the board. So let's take a closer look at those fighter cards. Each fighter card has a name, awesome picture, attack action, including range, dice symbol and number, and damage. Inspiration, which activates a stronger version of the character on the other side of the card. Movement, the number of hexes the fighter may move or charge. Defense, the target symbol and the amount of defense dice they will roll. Wounds, which equate to a character's toughness. Enough talk! The time for battle draws nigh. How about I tell you a little bit about that Shadespire gameplay? It is broken into 3 identical rounds, each split into an action phase and an end phase. In each action phase, players roll off, and in the first round, the player who finished placing their fighters first adds 1 critical symbol to their roll, giving them a slight edge. Whomever wins the roll-off chooses who goes first, and that player will start the first of their 4 activations they get each turn. Bam! Activations include making a move or charge action, going on guard, attacking, drawing a power card, exchanging an objective card, or pass. Boring. The move or charge action allows a character to move their move value a number of hexes around the board. They cannot move through occupied hexes or blocked hexes. If the charge action is taken, then a fighter can move and immediately attack another fighter within range of their destination hex. Either way, a player places a move or charge token next to the fighter, signifying they cannot move further this round. The guard action allows a fighter to double their defensive abilities, counting both defensive symbols as successes rather than just their printed symbol. The attack action, found on each fighter card, allows a player to select an opposing fighter in range and roll against it. The attacking fighter rolls their dice value, counting the attack symbols. The defense character does the same, counting their defense symbols. If the attack total is less than the defense total, the attack fails. If the attack value total is greater, the action is successful, and the target fighter takes a number of wounds equal to the damage of the other player. If the wound tokens meet the fighter's wound value, it's removed from the game and the attacker gains a glory token. Some special notes. If an attack succeeds, the attacker can choose to drive back the defender 1 unoccupied hex away from their fighter. Nearby allies can support fighters in combat. An attacking fighter receives support for each friendly fighter adjacent to their target, and a defender receives support for friendly units adjacent to the attacker. Rolling the support symbols in this case grants an extra success in combat. Critical hit symbols supersede all successes, and whichever fighter has more succeeds in attacking or defending. During the activation phase, players can activate reactions if the right conditions are met. It will list the word reaction on inspired fighters, active upgrades, or ploy cards in a player's hand. However, only one player can react per activation, so choose wisely. After each activation is resolved, both players have the chance to play power cards! In turn order, a player may play or pass, but once both players have passed, the next activation phase begins. Ploy power cards are instant and generally only last a round or until the next activation. Upgrade power cards are permanent boosts assigned to a specific fighter. However, upgrade cards can only be activated if the player has an unspent glory token to flip to its spent side. After each player has finished their 4 activations, the end phase begins. In turn sequence, players then reveal any objective cards they have met the conditions of, collecting the number of glory points listed at the bottom of the card. The objective card is then discarded. They may then discard any or all of the remaining objective cards into a discard pile. Play upgrade cards, provided they have unspent glory points. Optionally, discard any or all of the remaining power cards in your hand. And finally, draw objective cards up to 3 max into your new hand, as well as up to 5 max of the power cards. If either deck is empty, you're totally out of luck. Discarded cards don't get shuffled back in, so don't do it! In the final end phase, only objective cards are played, and then the game is over. Whichever player has the most glory wins the game! Yeah! That's how you play Shadespire. If you want to watch me and my friends play this game and many other awesome games, you can check us out live at twitch.tv/Geek and Sundry or projectalpha.com. Like and share this video! Okay, bye!